Hey guys, I hope you had an amazing start for this new year, and I really want to make sure that 2019 will be your year where you skyrocket your success. Why are we even talking about like a successful career? Well, obviously, having a successful career will offer you a lot of benefits when it comes to like profit and like profitable opportunities. And to be honest, we live in a world that is governed by social status and like money and skyrocketing your career, and there's a lot of pressure that society puts on us to have this all. And you shouldn't be intimidated about this. This is also for your best, like for your well-being. If you are feeling good about yourself because you're kicking ass in your career, then it will benefit you so much, and it's totally worth it. So this will really improve your quality of life. So yes, let's get started. The first thing you should do, obviously, you should identify your goals. This is easier said than done, I think. So, goals are different. Many people go through like life just following well-known patterns. Other people, they go with the flow, basically. And yeah, you can do that, of course. But if you think about it, it's kind of sad. Because, they don't really identify what they want to do, or they're just going with the flow, and I don't think it's good for their well-being, and it's kind of awful actually. And if you want to avoid this awful happening, you really need to identify your biggest wishes and then start going deeper into them, reflect, and go in like really in-depth reflection about with yourself basically. You should think about the connection with your inner desires and the rational goals. Your inner desires is one thing, and there is basically no stop there, no stopping there. And it's nice. You always should have that in yourself. Dream big. But the rational goals is important because that is what you actually can achieve at the moment. So your desires and rational goals should kind of match, and then you can build them up. Because rational goals are the ones that actually are like approachable. That is what you actually can do. They are precise. So otherwise, if you don't do this, you will probably not be fulfilled with your professional life. Identifying your goals, it may take some time, and it definitely takes effort from your side, but it's very, very important in any successful person's journey. So start from there, write them down. So number 2, this is a little bit tricky one. You have to become aware of your strengths. Some people think that they have very easy for it. They're like, yeah, I'm really good at this, I'm really good at that, and they're very confident. But not everyone are like that, and the people who say that, that's not necessarily their strengths. That might be like some wish thoughts. But awareness is an essential key to personal improvement. That is a fact. You have to be aware of your inner thoughts and strengths and desires and disadvantages. You have to know yourself basically. And I think a lot of people don't even reflect within themselves how they are. They just think that, okay, I am like this. Or somebody else said that I am like that. Okay, that means that I basically am like that. But it's not always true. So you really have to have this kind of in-depth reflection with yourself, so you become aware of mostly your strengths. That is the key. And if you become aware of that, you can really adapt to whatever conditions you are put through. So that will give you an ultimate advantage. I really like Sarah Blakely, as you know, the founder of Spanx. I was in Miami at 10x GrowthCon, and she was speaking there. And she really said one thing that made me think. She said, the thing you do for the least effort is what you should do. And she had sales. She knew that she wants to do sales, and it takes so little effort for her to actually do it. So she did that, and that really made me it really put a thought into my head, that is so true. And it's such an easy thing to say, but it actually has so much value. So really identify what you do naturally, and it takes a lot least effort, and it will give you a huge outcome. Because if you, for example, you are killer at coding something, you're so much faster than someone else, you already see you have like a huge advantage there, because you can achieve so much more for less time. That means you can make so much more profit there. So I really like that. Another speaker that was at 10x GrowthCon was Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey. At first, when he started talking about, okay, you have to find your gift, like what you have been blessed with, I was a little bit like, okay, this is weird stuff, but he actually has a really good point. I mean, find your gift that you're born with. I mean, he had writing jokes. That was his thing, but he didn't realize that like after a long time. And then he was like, okay, this comes really natural for me. So this is a gift that I have been given. And he took it and he advanced it even more. And you see where he is today. So I think like listening to people who have like the experience, it's very important. And they often say, as Steve Harvey or Sarah Blakely, like you really have to find what is in yourself, what comes naturally for you. And I mean, again, this is easier said than done, but this really requires hard work from you. So you really have this honest conversation with yourself. It's so important. But I believe that if you, like, no matter your strengths or disadvantages, you should choose a career path that advantage your traits and your qualities, just like Sarah Blakely and Steve Harvey actually. Okay, number 3, taking responsibility for your life. I mean, this is crucial. And I mean, one difference between mediocre people and people with successful careers is responsibility. I mean, even though you know the concept, you may not apply this every day. I mean, maybe sometimes you're just like, I'm just not gonna do that. You're not taking responsibility every day. And this is where the groundbreaking point is. You have to do it every day. I mean, and even if you haven't done anything wrong, being there, the previous actions, like the previous choices you have made, for example, trusting someone you should have not trust, there are still factors that have been influenced by your thoughts, and that makes you responsible for that. I mean, start assuming responsibility. That is the most important, to do it every day. And blaming someone else for failing something, it's really not a choice. And I mean, you can't really do that. That's a really bad thing to do. So the thing you have to do is, like, do not take things personally, just be calm. And you know, like Grant Cardone says, success is your duty, obligation, and responsibility. So you have to live up to that. Okay, number 4, you have to brand yourself. I mean, branding is so important nowadays, and I mean, big companies are spending millions and billions of dollars in order to establish themselves as the big dogs in the marketplace. So I mean, this is an old business strategy. It's nothing new in that case. I mean, every professional company is basically using this. But what the changing part is that actually people are building brands. Like, personal branding has become such a huge thing. And yeah, I totally get it, and it's very, very important. So you should start branding your name. And I mean, what is that? Basically selling yourself, selling your services, whatever you are doing. So a professional employee, they should always brand their names. I mean, this you can do, for example, by starting a blog, creating a professional social media profile, or simply providing the awesome service, or an awesome service. So really think about kind of creating the same kind of buzz that big companies do, but you do it about yourself. So people come to you like, hey, I know that you have the best experience within this, or you're the person to go to when it comes to this field. So kind of think about that, how you can create your own personal brand. And the last thing is number 5, networking. And you have to network big times. I know there's a lot of people who are super afraid to do this, but I mean, again, as Grant Cardone says, your network is your net worth. I mean, this says how important it is. I mean, networking is all about creating opportunities and connections. And I mean, you shouldn't be intimidated about this, because I mean, when you meet new people, you basically get the chance to use their skills in your advantage. And think about that. That is huge. Of course, you must also provide something back. I mean, your services, your knowledge, or your money, whatever it can be. But I think a good way to start networking is start creating a social media profile like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. And if you don't really know, like, okay, how do I find these places where to network? Well, I mean, Facebook, Meetup, they have amazing events you can attend, which are just for networking. But find the thing or the topic that you're interested in and just show up there and start talking to people. That's where like connections are made, and that's where you can have a completely new level in your career. And don't be intimidated about, I mean, it's easier actually than you think. I mean, the most difficult thing is probably showing up at the event, but when you already are there, there are people there, and often they just come to you and start talking to you. So it's actually the first step is, yeah, just show up at an event, and you will see already there that it will feel so much better afterwards, and you will get into this as a habit, and you will just continue, and then you will see what effect it has on your career. So yes, guys, building a successful career, it takes time and effort, and it doesn't come overnight. But if you're willing to sacrifice your time, which I think you should do, and if you're willing to get out of your comfort zone, which I also think you should do, you will see that this will have a huge impact on your life and how your career is going. So please start with that, and I really, really hope you will actually apply this in your everyday life. So see you in the next video.